I would have loved to have made a living out of it, although it's a different gig if you do that. You generally you're doing other people's projects, and it becomes like a normal job. If you're doing your own project, I guess if you're a purist, what you'd do is you'd write a novel and have that adapted, and in which case at least your work would be intact at the novel stage. Probably get butchered once a production company got involved with it, because as they say, film and TV is a collaborative industry, and which means in effect the writer is very low on the totem pole unless they've got a very loud voice and can assert themselves, and many writers don't. They're not very assertive at all. I'd say I'm probably different to a large number of them, because if I was in that position, I think I would push my own barrow a bit. But my downfall is I'm a lazy prick. I sort of regret that. I wish I'd actually applied myself more, and you know, I've had my opportunities. I got the mailing address for Ronnie Barker when he was touring in Australia doing the two Ronnies. I met him in his dressing room and we had a chat. He was a really nice guy, really nice, genuine guy, and he liked, I gave him a sample of some of my sketch writing and he liked it, and he kept in contact. He gave me his address where he was staying in Sydney, so that was nice. Nothing came of it because I don't think, again, it was exactly my style of writing. But yeah, I think you could safely say I probably mismanaged my creative career when it comes to the business side of it very poorly. So, oh well. At least it was interesting, and you know, I've met my fair slab of famous people. Yeah, my housemate, he actually won Star Search, which was one of those TV competition talent shows. He actually won the thing. I think he won about 25 grand. So he did all right. He didn't seem like a rock star type. He actually seemed like a fairly grounded sort of person. Obviously more grounded than Hutchins. So I guess it depends which member of the band you talk about, doesn't it? So, we're all individuals after all. Yeah, interesting how most of these bands are male, and the female bands just don't seem to last. I like the Go-Go's. They were an exception. They didn't last that long, though, I don't think, only a few years, but I like their music. But it's a rarity to have female bands. I guess they're more inclined to break up, bitchiness and all that sort of crap. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, but I think if you look at the track record, they don't last that long generally. And nowadays, music has really gone downhill, in my opinion. I'm a child of the 60s and 70s, so you know, I like the hard rock stuff, Beatles, Led Zepp, Who. A lot of the English stuff's brilliant, yeah. Australian stuff too. Colin Hay from Men at Work, he actually was a student at La Trobe University. The gate here is still not fixed. I have not seen it shut, although I do have the code to go through the side gate if need be. But yeah, there's no sign of it operating yet, but I do see the gate at least, so it is actually behind this fence. No, they've actually finished the gate, the security gate for the block of units. Fantastic. Now I've just got to work out how to get back in here. Hopefully the code does work, but this is the first time I've seen it actually in operation, so there you go. Just spoke to my friend in Brisbane, and he actually went to a meetup group meeting on the weekend, and so they're going strong, about 10 people there. Two of the people actually were at the Black Lives Matter march in Brisbane. Apparently there's around 30,000 people there, and what that points out to me is the utter farce that social distancing has become. So it's really more a political thing. It's supposedly based on medical criteria, but really isn't. It's a political situation. If your politics is okay, then you can come out as many people as you like. That seems to be the message that's being sent. And for some reason, if you're a sporting fan, you want to watch football, whatever code, then it's not acceptable. Work that out. Totally illogical. You know, I really have no regard for governments. They are just, they make irrational decisions, inconsistencies, hypocrisy. They're just, I can't respect these people, you know, until they come up with a cohesive plan. But I'm starting to think that this whole coronavirus thing has a hidden agenda behind it, because as we know, it hasn't been the end of the earth that was predicted, and that's right across the world. There have been some spots that have been worse than others, mainly in Italy, where they had direct flights from Wuhan for the fashion industry in Milan. They flew from there. I didn't realise there's such a big connection between fashion in China and Italy, but they paid the price for that in Milan. But the point is, nowhere in the world has it been anything like the Spanish flu, the Black Plague, or whatever other apocryphal event it's been painted to be. We still have to be vigilant. I say always have to be vigilant, but you know, now when you see that social distancing is for some but not for others, it really pisses me off, you know. God, how many trucks go down this damn road? Every time I film down here it's noisy. I guess it's being in the provincial city, you got a lot of big trucks. But yeah, I just get really pissed off because there are also a couple of major funerals held in Queensland with hundreds of people attending, but for everybody else, you weren't allowed to attend in any numbers like that. So it's just so inconsistent and unfair the way this has been administered. And a lot of it is based on politics as opposed to medical reasons, and it just pisses me right off. Because those funerals were attended by people who were a much higher risk than the average population. So it made no sense on a medical grounds, but it ticked boxes politically, and that seems to be all that counts. So not impressed. Yeah, we've finally got some sun after a few days of grey skies. A bit intermittent, but it's okay. It felt quite nippy yesterday. I actually put my wind cheater on late afternoon. A bit squally and a bit of rain and very grey. But it's a lot better today. I'm just heading off to the library again just to drop off Green Book, and got to pick up some old DVD movies that I want to add to my collection. I haven't seen them for ages, so I'd like to see them again. One of them is Crimson Tide, which is a submarine action film, very good. Not as good as Red October. Hunt for Red October, I think it's probably the best I've seen, but it'd be the second best. It's got a very good cast. And Something About Mary, which again is a Farrelly Brothers film. So there's two Farrelly Brothers films in a row, except that one of them, Something About Mary, has both Farrelly Brothers directing, whereas Green Book only had one of them. So that's a difference. I don't know what the quality of the DVD is going to be like. The Green Book was quite good quality, fairly new DVD I'd imagine, but those are older films, Crimson Tide and Something About Mary, so there may be a problem with the discs. That's the hassle with getting out discs. They don't last forever. They do have a little checklist they put into the actual sleeve of the DVD, which is quite good, and if you've got any issues with it, you tick it off and hand it when you hand it back to them, the staff, so they know if there's any issue with the disc. So it's a good system actually. Anyway, I'll head off to the back cave up near the library and go and collect those other 2 DVDs. So, very nice day today. Well, the council's brilliant plan to get rid of the bats seems to be bearing zero fruit. There's stacks of them here, you can hear them. So, and you can smell them. It's like walking in a jam jar. So, we'll get round the corner here and get to the entrance and get away from Flying Fox Central. There they are, all there. I thought they were asleep during the day and actually were nocturnal, but I don't know about that. Well, I got the new titles out. The librarian's telling me how easy it is to scan them in. It's not that easy. It's a bit of art required. So normally, I mean, in the past, I've always actually, if you're doing scanning, I remember in Melbourne, it was actually the barcode on the case of the DVD. But here, you actually have to open up the DVD and you have to have the spine in the right position and you have to scan it, do a swiping thing to scan it. So actually, I hope I got my card back. I better just check that. I'm pretty sure I did. I'll just check because I've only done this the first time. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.